President Akufo Addo has urged the board of the Public Utility Regulatory Commission (PURC) to deal with any utility provider who fails to meet the required standard of performance.
The president told the utility regulator not to relent at all in protecting the interest of the consumer. He commended the PURC for reducing electricity tariffs for the various categories of consumers. This was when the president inaugurated 2 members of the PURC board at the Jubilee House in Accra.
In the early part of the year, the government announced a proposed review of electricity tariffs and energy production cost structure. The PURC took up the proposal, which it started implementing from this month. Residential customers are now enjoying a 17.5% reduction. Non-residential customers have seen their electricity bills cut by 30%. The mites are now entitled to 10% reduction, while special load tariff customers are also enjoying a 25% reduction. President Akufo Addo commended the PURC for the development of regulations, tariff setting guidelines, establishment of monitoring system, and a transparent and independent tariff setting process. This, he said, has contributed positively to the promotion and sustainability of competition, evident in the introduction of private sector investment in the utilities. President Akufo Addo urged the board to sanction public utility service providers who fail to meet any required standard of performance.
One of the most notable functions as seen by most Ghanaians to be effectively discharged by the PURC has to do with the review of utility tariffs, more often than not in an outward manner. It would appear that the other functions, primarily to do with the protection of the interests of the consumer and the delivery of quality service by utility providers, have been largely shirked by the PURC. This perception can no longer be allowed to fester. It must change, and I'm happy to see that it is in fact in the process of changing. As a newly constituted board and in accordance with Act 538, the Ghanaian people demand that you protect their interests as well. In consonance with Section 13 of the Act, I urge you to ensure that where a public utility provider fails to meet any required standard of performance, it is appropriately and duly sanctioned. And once again, we see that there's been a departure from the old attitudes in the way in which you are handling this matter and the board.
The swearing in of the 2, Dr. Idu Jemfi and Dora Opong, brings to 9 the total number of members of the board. The first 7 were sworn in last November. The board has a duty to contribute to the development of a competitive energy sector, drive the industrial and economic development of Ghana, and at the same time ensure that the ordinary Ghanaian has access to efficient, affordable energy.